On January 22nd, 2018, Dr. Rob Hayworth gave the State of the Schools address through the sponsorship of the Elkhart Educational Foundation. The theme of the presentation was Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. This is the section of the presentation for tomorrow. Each of us may remember a moment in our lives when we knew we were a part of something greater than ourselves. When the right people, the right place, the right time, the right ideas, and the right opportunities all aligned. This is one of those times for Elkhart Community Schools. So how do you know when you're in one of those times? It starts when an idea becomes a shared idea, when large numbers of people come together collaboratively to advance a plan far enough along that any one of them could explain it. When the words to describe what could happen become the words to describe what is happening. When a long shot turns into a promise. When you know this is happening. So what's happening? What's going to be different? Is it about the changes in school structures and configurations? Is it unified mascots and team colors? Is it renewed commitment to high quality instruction for the littlest ones? Is it fresh program design and diplomas? Yes, sure, it's all of these things. But first it's about the promise. It is the promise that frames the priorities and sets the course to somewhere even better. Specifically, the difference between the past and the future is captured in the first two words of the Elkhart Promise. Every student. Not most students, not just the good students, not as many as we can, if only. No, every student. Why is that any different? And what does that have to do with all this fuss? Well, take a moment to reflect on education as we have mostly known it. Imagine each student as a box going down a conveyor belt. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, each year packaged into that box as the student moves along. Third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Each box is expected to be uniform and is issued standard components. Better not mess up or you are pulled off the line. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, no box better be damaged, filled with other stuff, or have any ideas to be more than what is issued in that box. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, there is way too much that must be crammed into that box, but everything is jammed in, taped up, anyway, stamped, issued a graduation cap and a diploma, and then sent off with a Hail Mary pass into adulthood. It is anyone's guess if the student will be able to remember or apply anything packed into them. No one even bothered to talk much with the people at the colleges the students might attend, or the businesses that were ready to hire. That's the system I remember, and we still do that in education to some extent. We used to think that that worked, and maybe it had some credence when the workforce was a simpler construct. But we know that our present-day employers have far more complex and diversified needs than what can be met in a standard box. Each and every one of our students has unique talents and interests that renders that traditional approach inadequate. Yes, we need to teach all our students the skills of persistence, respect, initiative, dependability, and efficiency. Yes, our students need strong literacy skills, mathematical problem solving, foundational knowledge, all critically important. But kids today are very savvy. They have learned to determine if something is worth their time before they will ever invest in it. We want our children to be discerning because there's so much competing for their attention, but it means that we as educators have to be at the top of our game. So because of it, it is incumbent upon us to fashion the educational system to provide opportunities for each student to explore interests, clarify what careers one may want or not want to do, develop talents, spark passions, and score early investments in college and career programs. From this core promise comes our future. Now imagine with me that you're a 5th grader at Elkhart Community Schools. Throughout your childhood, you have come to a place where teachers are happy to see you and know all about you. They plan for you and your friends to participate in real-life activities that have given you confidence and competence. You move on to middle school, where you explore various careers in the context of your lessons, where you interact with local businesses and take interest inventories and learn about how your talents can lead to your eventual success, even picking up a few high school credits ahead of time. You become a 9th grader and unite with all the other 9th graders in the city as one Elkhart, undistracted, focused on securing a sound foundation for high school. You pick a general area that you think might interest you as a career, and a school on the high school campus welcomes you into their cohort. You craft a flexible but clear graduation plan to suit your individual strengths and possibilities. Perhaps you've selected the School of Business and International Relations. The school will be named with a strong brand of an Elkhart business by that time. You walk into what is now the Administrative Center and find large collaborative learning spaces, much like one would see on a college campus. One floor on the west side of the building is where the General Language, Arts, and Social Studies is taught, and one floor is for science and mathematics classes. A bistro will be located on the back where you can pick up a meal during the day. Most of your classes will be in this one location, but you may leave for a couple blocks of time during the week to pick up a music or an art class or an advanced placement course in the main building or somewhere else on campus. When you are in English Language Arts class, you're reading novels and technical or nonfiction pieces that have to do with international relations. When you are in your math classes, you are learning mathematical applications to the business world, etc. Maybe you were selected for the School of Natural Resources or the School of Health and Public Safety, also named for corporation or leaders in those areas. Then your classes would mostly be in the building on the east side of campus that currently serves as a career center. The traditional career classes, as we now know them, have been reorganized around the campus to align with the pathway where they belong. There, in the East Building, you would experience your English Language Arts, Math, Science, and Social Studies core curriculum, all with the flavor of the range of careers associated with those fields, with students also interested in that sector. If your strengths and interests fall in the areas of engineering and technology and industry, you would experience classes in the new spaces that include the annex on the north side of campus. The building that currently serves as Memorial High School, or what we're calling the main building, will serve students who are members of the School of Arts and Communication and the School of Human Services. In this building, the space that was the pool, some classrooms north of the cafeteria, and a new addition jutting off to the west will feature the first phase of a brand new music center. The cafeteria will be remodeled to offer a variety of options and service lines. The hallways and headquarters will be refreshed with new colors and designs. So what can you expect to see between now and the State of Schools address next year? At the start of the summer, the current administrative center will be vacated so that renovations can prepare that space for students. Next fall, the work in the music areas will begin. We will be looking at new spaces for engineering, technology, and industry. New science labs will be featured in the building that is now the Career Center. We are currently in the phase of the architects call schematics, where teams negotiate the program requirements prior to finalizing the development of the design. Here is a photo of one of a number of large wipe-off walls that we've been using to sketch out the spaces. Without yet knowing the school colors, we have begun the process of thinking of visual makeovers to define the dedication of common areas for various purposes. Before the next month, transition principals will be named to head each of the new schools on the high school campus and the freshman division building. Having just completed interviewing internal candidates for these administrative appointments this week, it was validating to hear each one of them articulate the vision for the future with excitement and conviction. Each principal will establish executive advisors and advisement councils from our community. No more careless Hail Mary passes. After the spring, teachers will begin to conceptualize their future lessons to support pathways within each of the schools, all aligned with the Indiana's new graduation requirements. The work will be intentional and focused on the diverse needs of each of our students and their potential college and career pathways. So this is not just change for the sake of it. It is not just new so that we don't have old. This is not just different because we don't know what to do and we just have to try something. No, it is strategic, it is intentional, and it is only possible because of the strength of our past and the present commitment. All for each student, and each student for all of Elkhart. We are Elkhart, and we are happening.